Welcome everybody to ringside at the Utilita Arena in Newcastle. We've got a great night of boxing coming up for you, and every ticket here has been sold. Much anticipated top of the bill between Robbie Davies Jr and Lewis Ritson. Of course, Ted Cheesemand against Scott Fitzgerald as well, and plenty else besides. Savannah Marshall is in action, boxing in the Northeast for the first time in 10 years. A very successful amateur fighter, now learning the trade as a pro under Peter Fury. An interesting British title eliminator at light heavyweight, Lawrence Oswaki, a local fighter on the GB podium, squad and ABA champion, 9-0 as a pro. Hasn't really been tested yet, but he will be tonight against Ricky Summers, a light heavyweight title challenger for that British title not that long ago against Frank Buglioni. We thought we'd see him win against Joshua Buatsi last year too, but unfortunately he had to turn that one down. A heavyweight also we have Martin Bakoli up against Kevin Johnson. Johnson, of course, who has been the distance with so many good fighters down the last few years, and Bakoli looking to maybe get a few more rounds in than he did when we saw him last time, when his fight lasted all of a minute. So let's get our first one on Facebook. Our Facebook fight tonight in the ring. It's Kieron Conway against Konrad Stempkowski, and here's our MC, David Diamante.
Now, entering the arena, please welcome Konrad Stempkowski.
Had a quick chat with Konrad on the way in yesterday, 36 years old now. Originally from Vienna in Austria, moved over to Reading, and now lives down in Plymouth. And his record reads 9 wins and 1 defeat. The wins have come against a mixture really of novices and away corner fighters, and he's taken a bit of a change of tack recently. He's decided to take fights in the away corner, which is what he's doing tonight. And he took his first one in that role last September in Bracknell, where he was in with George Lamport, a 5-0 fighter. And he's had 1 fight since then. That was back in the home corner. But as I say, he's on the road tonight, if you like, against Kieron Conway, who of course picked up that very creditable draw against Ted Cheesemand for the British super welterweight title last time out.
And now, making his way to the ring, Kieron Two-Class Conway.
Well, Matt, last time we saw Kieron Conway, he stepped up at 3 weeks' notice to take on Ted Cheesemand. It was a voluntary defence from the British champion, who we see later against Scott Fitzgerald. And he really that night did what professional fighters are supposed to do. You talk about this a lot. You stay in the gym, you stay ready, and when the phone calls, you can answer it, you can step up, and he did that, put in a really good performance, got that draw, and now he's in and around that mix. He'll have a big fight next up.
Yeah, he really stepped up to the plate, put on a great performance, earned himself a draw against Ted Cheesemand. It was a great fight, gave himself and his career a real shot in the arm. And, you know, here he is now. He's going to hopefully come back with a good routine win tonight. And, you know, the talk is that he gets to face the loser of tonight's main event, or chief support fight, should I say.
David Allen at ringside with Eddie Hearn.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Newcastle, England, and the Utilita Arena, live on Sky Sports Facebook and YouTube channels, we are set to go with our next bout of the evening, and it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing. We're sponsored by William Hill, StubHub, and JD Sports. Your timekeeper from Hartlepool is Stuart Lithgow, and at the sound of the bell, your third man in the ring from Sunderland, referee Ron Kearney. And now, ladies and gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing scheduled in the super welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, standing with his head trainer, Shane Radmore. He wears the white trunks. He scaled 11 stone, 2 pounds, 6 ounces. His professional record, 9 wins against 1 defeat. Fighting out of Plymouth by way of Vienna, Austria. Introducing Konrad Stempkowski. and his opponent across the ring fighting out of the blue corner. He stands with his head trainer and father, James Conway. He wears the black trunks. He scaled 11 stone, 2 pounds, 4 ounces. His professional record, 12 victories, only 1 defeat. He has 1 draw and 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Introducing the tough and well-schooled charge from Northampton, ladies and gentlemen, Kieron Two-Class Conway. Conway.
Okay, lads, listen to me. Obey my commands at all times and protect yourself at all times. Keep them heads out, keep them punches up. Okay, keep it clean, touch gloves, come out boxing on the bell, let's go.
Kieron Conway signed with Matchroom after that draw with Ted Cheesemand shortly thereafter. So it was a big moment in his career. So here we go, 8 rounds or less at super welterweight. Kieron Conway in the black, Konrad Stempkowski in the white. We've outlined what Conway got up to in his last outing and what could be next for him. Assuming there are no mishaps tonight, then the loser of that fight between Ted Cheesemand, who's defending his British super welterweight title, the one he defended against Conway. He's up against Scott Fitzgerald later on. Fitzgerald, of course, winning his fight with Anthony Fowler against the odds in almost everybody's eyes back at the end of March. And it's a very interesting mix that Matchroom have got at 154 pounds. There are other fighters in the division as well, of course. James Metcalf is an interesting one. He's going very, very well. Conway just looking to try and get on the jab. And what we already knew about him before we saw him at York Hall, Matt, because we've seen him quite a bit on undercards, and you managed him back at the start of his career, is that he's well schooled, a good orthodox kind of fighter, but he'd never been beyond 8 rounds against Ted Cheesemand, so he had to try and keep something in the tank. And we had him bang in the fight after 6-7 rounds. I thought that Cheesemand probably did pull away towards the end of the fight, just on work rate really, but what was impressive was the way he kept his boxing together all the way through.
Yeah, I always thought that Kieron Conway was going to have a really good career, very well schooled amateur, you know, just short of being representing England, going top level, but you know, he was the kind of kid that, you know, would be there or thereabouts with anyone. And good basics, good fundamentals. Started off boxing guys on you know, non-televised shows. Got on a couple of Matchroom cards when they came to Birmingham with Sam Egginton. I was managing him at the time and got him on the card, but he performed well, but he was always going to perform better when he was in there against someone that was, you know, really trying to beat him. And does live the life, stays in the gym, as you said, and he got the phone call, was able to take this short notice because he doesn't balloon up in weight. He lives the life, and he put on a really, really good performance, stepped up to the plate and earned himself a draw, and he's really put himself in the mix. And the talk is that so long as he gets a win here, that he'll probably get a chance to fight whoever loses in the Cheesemand-Fitzgerald fight tonight. Good body shots there from him, good variety.
Finishing on the jab, Stempkowski in good shape, as I said. Decided a little while ago to start taking the odd away corner job. Right hand there from Conway, found good range with that. Stempkowski just sagging into the ropes a little bit to try and evade another onslaught. Good jab, right hand to the body from Conway, goes upstairs.
Yeah, there was a good uppercut in that mix of that combination there. He focusing on the body, but that was a good uppercut up the middle.
James training him as he has done all the way through. Mark Seltzer leaning through the ropes there.
Yeah, that was a good left hook. That was a nice first round from Conway, taking his time, picking his punches, picking his moments, throwing a few feints, seeing what Stempkowski is going to do back. So, yeah, solid first round.
Good one, last 1.5.
One defeat as a pro coming against Derek Asazi. That was an ultimate boxer. 3 3-minute round format, which maybe wouldn't particularly suit him. Azarzi going really well, though. The Barrington Browns gym up in Nottingham. Echo Esserman boxing out of there too, so they've got some good fighters.
Seconds out, round 2.
It's a good jab from Conway. He's thrown that with real purpose, with real intent right from the start so far.
Yeah, he's got nice balance, Conway, and good poise, and he like where he holds himself, and he works off that jab. And even when he's not jabbing, he's a lot feinting, and he's gauging the distance, thinking about what he's going to do. Nothing reckless, always picking his shots. Well, he doesn't carry one punch power, but you know, he's a good combination puncher.
The uppercut there, Conway didn't quite find it. Left hand got through there from Stempkowski just as Conway was trying to open out. Nice left hand to the body.
Looks like Conway try and open Stempkowski up a bit more, you know, combinations, punches and bunches, a few more feints as well, and go up and down with the jab, go ahead. Jab the head, jab the body, go back up to the head, mix it up, body and head, and try and open him up.
Good solid sounding right to the body, landed on Stempkowski, who was on the ropes right above us. This is the final minute of round 2, the schedule for 8.
I think Conway's clearly dominating. He's got the centre of the ring. He's backing Stempkowski up behind the jab. He's outscoring, outlanding him. He's landing the harder shots as well. He's been in complete control here. But I think if he wants to catch Stempkowski flush, he can't be a kind of you go, I go type of fight. If he waits for Stempkowski to stop finishing before he punches, I think he's got to punch with him a little bit. You know, counter his shots. When Stempkowski does open up, which isn't that often, but when he does throw that jab, a lazy jab, and leave it out there, that's when Conway should be looking to come over the top of that jab with his own right hand.
Good movement there from Conway, right to the body, rolled away to his left-hand side, then found the uppercut up the middle. He has got good variety. Bell goes at the end of the round. And this is a case for Conway tonight of keeping those tools nice and sharp. As we've been saying, that draw against Cheesemand just catapulted him up a level into the kind of mix that will see big fights come his way. Anthony Fowler's going to be ringside later on, and the thought process from Eddie Hearn is that he would fight the winner of Cheesemand against Fitzgerald, having come back with a win against Brian Rose. He'll be out in Liverpool on the 23rd of November, Fowler as well, we believe. No opponent announced for that one just yet, but Conway against the loser of that fight, that is a big fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's absolutely catapulted himself into that mix with the performance against Cheesemand. So, you know, he's right back in there. So, can't afford any banana skins tonight. He's got to stay focused, but he's going about the job properly.
He's come out quite quick at the start of this round. Left hand got through there and trying to sneak that right hand around the back of the guard. He's up the tempo here quite noticeably.
Yeah, that was a good left hook. Oh, takes an uppercut there on the inside. mean, there's not really a lot to criticise Conway for here. Just maybe like to see him be a bit more, you know, double up on that jab a little bit. Sometimes Stempkowski, as he's edging back, he's falling short a little bit, Conway. I'd like to see him double up on that jab, then bring the right hand left hook into play.
Well, Conway, the best fighter by a distance that Stempkowski has been in with so far. So 8 rounds in this kind of company for him, I think, is going to prove to be pretty difficult. We're heading up towards the midway stage of round 3.
Nice little screw shot there from Conway off the jab. Let's see him throw a right hand in behind that. Sometimes Conway throws that right hand. It's a little bit of an arm punch. I'd like to see him plant his feet a bit more and really drive his body weight in behind that shot. Again, chops the right hand over the top.
Again, looking for the jab. And trying to put a bit more weight on that right hand now as well.
Yeah, goes head and body there with the left hook, switching the attack downstairs. Let's see him vary that jab a little bit more, you know, maybe throw a few slower jabs, a few hard jabs, go head with the, maybe jab the body, feint the body, just mix the variety with the left hand up a little bit, feint the jab, hook off the jab. Stempkowski happy to survive here, not take too much, so Conway's going to have to open him up. He's going to have to throw a lot of feints, got to put combinations together.
Well, big intake of breath there from Stempkowski as he heads back to the red corner, away to our right-hand side. 3 rounds down. I mentioned Anthony Fowler just a little bit ago, and his next opponent has just been announced, actually, for Liverpool on November the 23rd. He's going to be in with Harry Scarf, and that's a good fight. Scarf is 8-0, won the English title at the end of September against Jack Flatley, so that should be an interesting watch. There's that kind of screw shot you were talking about. Yeah,
nice little screw shot there, snapping the head back of Stempkowski. Would have liked to see the right hand or the left hook come off that, but it was a good shot. Good work from Conway.
Double jabs as well. Double jabs.
Seconds out, round 4.
Just shaking out the right hand there, Conway. Just dipping in with the front foot, trying to lead, trying to draw something even from his opponent there, Kieron Conway. Stempkowski has done pretty well so far. He's kept things nice and tight. He hasn't come apart at any stage. Conway looking to try and work him over on the ropes a bit here, just narrowly missed with a left hand upstairs, left to the body was a good shot.
Yeah, good left hook to the body, and he rolled under nicely as well, and to get under the left hook counter coming back from Stempkowski. Good work from Conway. I think this is what he wants to do, stay closer and put the heat on him now, really work that body. was saying it before, and he doesn't really carry a lot of power with one shot, Conway, but when he puts shots together and he puts the combinations together and he finds the gaps, and especially particularly with that left hook to the body, you know, he can be spiteful at times, but it's really the accumulative effect when he breaks a guy down. It's not one punch power. But I do feel he could improve that. I think there's room for improvement in his power. I think he could sit down on his shots a little bit more at times.
Leading off with that left hook. Just sinking into the ropes and covering up pretty well there, actually. Defensively, he's done a fairly sound job, I think, Konrad Stempkowski. Some have got through, but not too many.
Yeah, he's capable. He's looked after himself. He hasn't taken too many clean shots. Full force. He's pretty good at tucking up and riding these shots. But I think Conway needs a little bit more imagination from Conway. He's got to pry open those defenses, use feints, switch attack, go head and body, dress things up, maybe go hard, left hook, right up, go to the head, then switch to the left hook downstairs. Got to mix it up a bit more.
So midway through this one, scheduled for 8 in the super welterweight division. Kieron Conway there, just taking a seat over in the blue corner.
Nice. Way better on that, Jack. Keep him off balance.
Yeah, I mean, he's boxing well here, Andy. We have to stress he's well in control. He's dominating everything. He's winning every second of every round. He's not really getting hit with anything back. He's doing some nice moves. He's, you know, left hooks to the body there and then rolling out under the left hook counter from Stempkowski. So don't want to be overly critical of Conway. He's boxing well. He's totally in control. Just, you know, in terms of improvement and making adjustments, I think there are times when he can sit down, particularly on that right hand a little bit more when he's driving that right hook in. I think he could sit down on it and really drive, get some power into it and drive it hard in behind the gloves, around the back of the ear.
Seconds out, round 5.
So into the second half of the fight, and it's been all Conway so far. 10-9s on Matt's card, which nobody could possibly argue with. Stempkowski, as I said in that previous round, has done a decent enough job defensively, and he's thrown enough back to ensure that Conway can't be recklessly gung-ho.
Yeah, I mean, Conway's been totally in control. He's dominated everything. He's controlled everything. He's out-punched, outscored, outlanded Stempkowski by a mile in every round. But that said, he hasn't looked in any trouble or looked like he's been hurt or in any danger of getting stopped or anything like that. So it'd be nice to see Conway, you know, who's maybe just happy to get the rounds in the bag. He's not a big puncher anyway, so his fights probably at top level are going to be distance fights, but I'd see a little bit more imagination at times when he has him backed up against the ropes. Try and find the gaps, switch the attack from head to body.
Found a good right hand round the back of the guard, Conway, about 30 seconds ago, which just seemed to cause Stempkowski not to stagger exactly, but just take a couple of steps back. And he was pinned to the ropes for a period there, but he came back with a decent 1-2 of his own.
Yeah, and a couple of uppercuts he landed also before that, Stempkowski. So having a bit of success there with his back against the ropes, Stempkowski.
Long right hand there from Conway, didn't land clean, and then his opponent got a decent left in there too. And he's not winning the round here, Stempkowski, but he's having a good round, actually. He's having his best round of the fight. Yeah, he's coming back with some good shots, but right where he is now, you know, maybe 30 seconds or so ago, he landed some really good shots off the ropes. There's Conway looking for that looping right hand again. Sometimes Conway throws that shot, and it's more of a slap than, you know, if he planted his feet, you know, put the weight on his back foot and really drove some power behind it. But at times he just slaps it over the top. I'd like to see him maybe sit down on that shot a bit more. And we're looking at Conway here, really. He's the name attraction in this fight, but in terms of the boxing business, this is a big opportunity for Konrad in the white too, because if he wants to box in the away corner more, then a good performance against Kieron Conway, if he can do the rounds here tonight, get 8 of them in the bank with the promoters sitting ringside, then quite a lot more work will potentially come his way, which will be exactly what he wants. That's why he took this fight over 8 rounds, as I said, against a better fighter, a better quality of fighter than he's ever really been in with before. So this was a gamble from him. He showed some ambition in a different kind of a way. Conway going to do some good rounds just in the tank here, just to stay nice and sharp. And later on we'll be seeing somebody who hasn't boxed in her native northeast for a decade. She was telling us yesterday she was a star performer on the GB squad, a world champion, one of only 4 British amateurs now to have won a world championship gold as an amateur. Frankie Gavin, Nicola Adams, Savannah Marshall, and now Lauren Price as well. She's undefeated as a pro, Savannah. She's quite critical of her own performance that she gave on the Lomachenko-Campbell undercard when we spoke to her yesterday. And the difficulty with her at the moment is finding opponents. There's not really any depth at super middleweight around those weights in women's boxing currently. So at some point she's going to have to make a big leap up to world level, but Peter Fury is more than confident she can do that. So looking forward to seeing her later on into round 6. Now Ron Kearney just having a word with Conway about slapping, basically, hitting with the inside part of the glove.
Yeah, and I think he's right. I think at times Conway does slap the right hand when he throws to throw the right hand over the top. Sometimes it's more of an arm punch, more of a slap. And you know, I alluded to it earlier, and I'd like to see him sit down on that shot more and really generate some power into that right hand. That's a better right hand from Conway to the body there. That was a good shot from him. I'd like to see more of that. You know, I know he's not a heavy concussive hitter with one punch. That's not his style. He's a combination puncher. Got good fast hands, and he puts the shots together, usually off the back of a nice jab. But I think there are times when he could mix it up and sit down, and he could punch harder, particularly with that right hand. He does slap it over the top, and at times I think he could sit back and just generate a lot more power into it. Good body shot.
That was a beautiful shot, and you can see the pain on the face there of Stempkowski. That was right above us. We got a perfect angle on it. Solid left hand. Thwacked into that floating rib area just behind the elbow, and he went down pretty swiftly there.
Yeah, that was a really good left hook to the body. Nice. Switched it from head to body. Good left hook. Right, got round the back of the elbow, and it took the wind out of Stempkowski.
Well, he's looking for it again there, Conway. Couldn't quite land it. He's going to need to protect that area.
Yeah, but I think this way he should go to the head now, Andy. Focus on the head. You want the body, go to the head. Then when the hands come up to the head, then switch it, the attack downstairs.
Conway looking to move in close again there behind the jab to get into range and try and throw that left hand.
No, I don't think you should go straight to the body now. I think Conway should go to the head first, then switch the attack downstairs to the body once the hands have been brought up.
He's looked for it a couple of times, left hook to the head there, didn't quite get through.
See, he's already been hurt to the body, Stempkowski, so right now he's clenching his elbows in tight. He's more bothered about being hurt to the body than taking shots to the head. So this is where Conway will get the opening now to the head. Go to the head, 1, 2, left hook to the head, right uppercut to the head, then switch the attack downstairs to the body. You have to bring the hands up first, find the gap, then switch it downstairs.
Looking for that right hand. Like you've been saying, Matt, maybe just a kind of double tap downstairs and left hook to the head. It's something I've seen Paul Butler do a couple of times with great effect, just looking to dig that left hand in. Again there, Conway, he's had a very dominant round here. He's earning his money tonight though, Konrad Stempkowski. He's got a couple more rounds to get through here. We've got a great view of the knockdown, Matt. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah, it was a really good left hook to the body. See him 2 little uppercuts through the middle, then gets the gap round the back. You see, he brought the focus towards the middle, to the head, and that's where Stempkowski brought his hands to block those left uppercuts that he was getting caught with down the middle. And as he did that, he took the attention away. He took his elbow away from his floating rib area, and that's when Conway seen the gap, took the little shift to the left, transferred the weight onto his front foot, got the power into it, and drove that left hook into the body. Beautiful shot, caused the knockdown.
Seconds held, round 7.
Good right hand there from Conway. Did sneak in behind the guard. Just again made Stempkowski stagger slightly. He's putting his punches together pretty well here.
Yeah, this is good work from Conway. I think he's trying to really turn up the heat here now. I think he wants the stoppage. He's got the rounds under his belt. He scored the knockdown in the last round. I think we're going to see him turn up the heat here now. Nice little left uppercut into the pit of the stomach there from Conway.
There's that cuffing right hand, and he's really just looking to try and cover up here, Stempkowski, the referee. Having a look, having a fairly close look at times, but he's done enough in this fight so far, the away corner man, to make the referee pretty confident that he's capable of seeing this through to the end, unless he's put under some really severe pressure.
Yeah, I think the body is where Conway's going to hurt Stempkowski. I think if he, when he kind of bamboozles him with those combinations to the head, that's great. Bring his hands up, make him focus on where he needs to get those elbows up, and then switch the attack downstairs to the body. You know, even go down to the body first, then go up to the head, then again switch it back down to the body. You know, start with the jab to the body, go up to the head with the 1-2, then go back down with the left hook to the body. Keep varying your attack, mixing it up.
Nice straight right hand got through there from Conway, but Stempkowski just slid away across the ropes to his left-hand side and puts his own hands together. Needs enough combination. I was talking a round or so ago about the boxing business and about why this is an important night for the man in the away corner, because he's bitten off a lot here against Conway. It's an 8-rounder. He's boxed 4- and 6-rounders mainly in his career, and if he can get through this, if he can hear the final bell, then this is his ticket to, okay, away corner jobs where you're not really expected to pick up any wins, but some decent paydays. So there's plenty on the line here for him too. Yeah,
he's got a winning record. He's a good opponent against someone. So, you know, if Conway, if he goes the 8 rounds here, or even if he got stopped now, he's put up a decent performance. He's stayed in there for a bit. So, you know, he'll likely be used as an opponent again down the line if that's the way he wants to go.
I think it'll be a mixture that he probably looks to take. Selling tickets is a difficult business, and I think he's managed to do that successfully throughout the course of his career so far, but it does take its toll after a while. You often see fighters pick up their stool and head for the away corner.
Yeah, there's that right hook. Like I say, at times he just puts it there, and that's okay if you're looking to just bring your opponent's attention to that area, trying to find a gap maybe on the right-hand side with the left hook to the body. But sometimes I'd like to see him sit down and really drive that right hook in behind the back of the gloves, around the ear area. You know, really try and generate some power into it. But in order to do that, you've got to sit down on your shots. Where, a lot of the time with Conway, he's more of an arm puncher, a combination puncher. He's got good hand speed, and that's his style. And you don't want to change what he's got. But at times, I think I'd like to see him mix it up and really sit down on the odd shot.
Seconds out, 8th and final round.
So touch of gloves between these two, 8th and final round. Well, I saw Conway on June the 21st, so he's had a little bit of a rest. Earned it after those 12 rounds against Cheesemand, and he'll be looking for something big to get his teeth stuck into next time out. We think we know what it is, of course, so he's taken every round and a 10-8 as well to boot in the 6th. But Stempkowski has stayed competitive enough for the referee never to feel like he's needed to get involved or have a particularly close look.
Yes, Stempkowski has never really troubled Conway, and he's never looked like winning a round. That said, he's never looked like being stopped either. You know, he got put down with the body shot, but he seemed pretty okay once he got up, and other than that, he hasn't looked in any trouble.
Cheesemand's British super welterweight title defence coming up against Scott Fitzgerald later on. They both looked great on the scales yesterday. Fitzgerald has been living with trainer Michael Jennings for the last 9 weeks. He had to come back and have a second attempt at the weight when he boxed Anthony Fowler back at the end of March. He was all a bit frenetic, but he's a much calmer individual. At least he has been this week compared to last time out, Fitzgerald, which could be a sign that he's really switched on to the fact that the time is now for him in boxing after that big win against Fowler. For Cheesemand, after a defeat in his European title fight and a draw against Conway, this is a huge, huge fight for him, really is.
Yeah, I mean, the loser of tonight's co-feature chief support fight, Fitzgerald and Cheesemand, Conway, whether that's a rematch with Cheesemand or a fight with Fitzgerald, either way, that's a great fight, and one we'd certainly be looking forward to seeing. And one that I think Conway would feel that he can win now, you know, having had those 12 rounds against Cheesemand. He got the draw, but it was a big step up from what he'd been fighting at. Again, now he's signed with Matchroom. He's getting the experience, he's getting the exposure, and he'll feel that his career, you know, 23 years of age, he'll feel that his career is moving at the pace exactly where it should be, and this is where he's felt he's belonged for a long time, and you know, this is where he belongs.
With MTK as well, so he's got some firepower behind him, which is what every good young pro, every fighter needs. It's always important to be on the right ship. Absolutely,
Andy. As I always say, you've got to be on the right ship, and you've got to have the right people steering it. Very, very important. And he's with good people. He's with MTK. He's with Matchroom. So he's got, as long as he keeps winning and keeps living the life, he'll get the opportunities. And then it's up to him to get in there and, you know, put on the performance.
And a decent performance from him there. Taking the 8 rounds, made to work. So that'll keep him nice and sharp. And good performance from Konrad Stempkowski, as I mentioned there. Most of the time he's been boxing in the home corner and picking up comfortable wins, selling a lot of tickets. But for the second time tonight, he headed for the away corner. So I think he can serve a kind of dual purpose in his career. And he gave Conway good work over the 8 rounds. So a successful night, really, for both of these two. And a good way to get things started. Every single ticket has been sold in the Utilita Arena. And top of the bill, as we know, Robbie Davies Jr against Lewis Ritson in the WBA super lightweight title eliminator. They're both in the top 10. Davies, a now former European, British and Commonwealth champion. He's given up those belts. Ritson stepped up to 140 relatively recently. Well, let's get the particulars on this one. I think we know what they're going to be from MC David Diamante.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's please have a nice round of applause for both of these fighters. After 8 rounds here in Newcastle, referee Ron Kearney scores this contest 80-71 for your winner from Northampton, Kieron, two-class Conway.
So Kieron Conway's record improves. 13 wins, 1 defeat, 1 draw. And he'll be joining us for a chat. We know what the promoter Eddie Hearn plans for him next, so I'm sure he'll be getting backstage, getting showered and getting back out here ringside to watch that fight between Ted Cheesemand and Scott Fitzgerald, with a great deal of interest. Kieron, Conway and Eddie Hearn are down ringside with Andy Scott.
Kieron, congratulations, good win over 8 rounds. Your first as a matchroom fighter. How do you think you boxed tonight?
I think I boxed decent. I got the job done every round, and a knockdown, so it was good. It was a decent performance.
Yeah, if we're being hypercritical, any frustration that you couldn't force the stoppage, had him down to the body?
Yeah, I got a bit too eager and trying to impress too much, and didn't let my shots flow a little bit as much as they should have.
Obviously, you boxed Ted Cheesemand at 3 weeks' notice. He boxes tonight against Scott Fitzgerald. How do you see that fight going? How do you want that fight to go? Eddie Hearn's already mentioned that the winner or the loser could be in line to face you.
Like I said before, it doesn't matter to me who wins. That title is something that I want. Doesn't matter who I box for it. I'm going to go there and take it.
Let's have a quick word with Eddie Hearn. Then Eddie, a word on the whole night and a word on Kieron's performance as well, and what you want to do with the future. We've seen some reports online that you want to match him perhaps with the loser of the British title fight tonight.
Yeah, winner or loser, I think. You know, it's a good performance tonight. Got some rounds. I think the Anthony Fowler fight's a good fight. I think the Fitz fight, the Cheesemand rematch, they're all there. Brilliant domestic scene at light middleweight at the moment. He's right in it. He'll be out again before the end of the year. Still a young man, improving all the time. Good 8 rounds. Ready to go again and ready to mix it up in that domestic league.
Plenty of good fights tonight, but how excited are you about the top 2?
Yeah, I mean, I think Cheesemand against Fitzgerald is a great fight, and Robbie Davies Jr. Against Ritson, again, is a cracking fight. I think the atmosphere is going to be unbelievable tonight. And, you know, Robbie Davies Jr., he's dodged some bullets. You know, he checked into that B&B last night. He got over the fire alarm. So
yeah, I didn't see you in the car park at 2:30 this morning.
I was outside in the dressing gown, just herding people out, but... You know, it's fun and games. A lot's on the line in that fight, and 2 brilliant fights. And also Seki against Summers is a great fight coming up soon, and I can't wait to get this place jumping later.
Cheers, Eddie, and well done, Kieron.
Thank you very much.
Well, it was fun and games last night, I can tell you. We were all outside, myself and Matt Macklin included, at 2:45 in the morning after the fire alarm went off. Not known who was responsible for that. Saw big Martin Bacoli out there in the car park. He brought all his bags out with him. He packed everything up just in case we couldn't get back inside. But we'll be talking about him a bit later on. On to those kind of co-main events, if you like. They touched on the one that's of greater interest to Kieron Conway there, and we talked about it a little bit. Ted Cheesemand against Scott Fitzgerald. The main thing about this fight for me has been the kind of change in temperament, really, from Fitzgerald during fight week to what we saw from him in Liverpool back at the end of March.
Yeah, I think he used the needle with Fowler to really fire himself up. But, you know, I don't think it's any secret that he hasn't always been the most disciplined, the most dedicated. He hasn't been the best liver or trainers. But I think he used the animosity in the needle in the build-up to the Fowler fight to really fire himself up for that fight and to make sure that he prepared himself, you know, appropriately. And he did that. He put on a great performance, got the win, deservedly so. And, you know, here he is now fighting for the British title against Ted Cheesemand, who, you know, coming off a loss and a draw, you know. So Fitzgerald, I think, is probably, I think most people that I've spoken to fancy him to win this fight. But, you know, it's really a pick-up fight. You've got the pressure and the work rate of Cheesemand. You've got the boxing, probably technical ability and the power of Fitzgerald. So it's a great fight, and you could make a strong argument either way.
And this is a great one as well, top of the bill. Lewis Ritson there, the local man, of course, at 140 pounds, 2 fights. Maybe not been all that impressive at the weight so far. He's won plenty of titles at the weight, and most people are making him favourite. Ritson, I think, will enjoy that, because being the underdog, as pretty much all you fellas say, is better than being the favourite. It's better than having all that pressure on you. And he, in some people's eyes, I wouldn't say he's got nothing to lose exactly, but he'll have a home crowd behind him, and he'll back himself every inch of the way.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's got nothing to lose, because he's got his own dreams and aspirations and where he wants to see himself going. So he'll have pressure that he'll be putting on himself about where he goes, and also, you know, he's the house favourite. He's the home favourite. So it's a tough fight. It's most people are saying it's a pick 'em 50-50 fight. I probably lean towards Davies, because I think that what Ritson really had going for him down at lightweight was the physicality, his size and his strength and his power. I'm not sure he's going to take that through.
Okay, well, make sure you join us. Sky Sports, 7 o'clock.
Do your job, Robbie. Robbie Davies is full of
Lewis Ritson is nowhere near me.
He's been running his mouth on the social media. It's a 50-50 fight, but I'll smash him.
This Lewis Ritson can punch, and he's a predator. The man from Newcastle is a revelation. Robbie Davies Jr wants his done. Knockout number 13.
And it's another early night for Robbie Davies Jr.
When he gets in the big boys, he'll get a shock of his life.